Golden Globes. You were incredible in Dune. Oh, woke up for all of your scenes. What a year you've had. Glenn, couch talks, and you'll go, oh, that was before that. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
Mocking God and using his name as a cuss word is nothing new for Hollywood. But less than 48 hours after the Golden Globes blasphemy, Hollywood was on fire.
Oh my God, please God, please God. Oh
wow.
Oh my God, please keep the horses safe. Please, God, please. I'm gonna be in this tunnel. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, please, God, please. Oh my God. Oh my God, please let me out of here. Please, God. Please, God, please let me out of here. Please,
wow.
God. Please. Oh my God. 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 Oh my God.
I hope they made it out alive. That was some scary stuff. Oh wow. Guys, come on, man. This is horrendous. Hopefully everyone made it out safe. Just in time.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's just not stopping, is it?
Are being blown by fierce winds. It is like driving through hell itself down here.
Is he still there? Are you able to ask him about what we...
Yes.
What we thought were some crews doing backfires. Is that one of the strategies that they're utilizing right now?
Yes, we believe they were doing backfires last night. Battalion Chief Brett Pasqua is on that San Fernando line ridge as the Palisades fire moved up that ridge. They got to work creating some lines, right?
That's right. We had engines at all the houses up there, and then we were able to do a successful firing operation to push the fire away from the community. It worked very well.
You know, these guys are doing a tremendous job. Thank God for them.
The advantage, though, during the day is you also have the ability to use the super scooper. We know one of those has been grounded because of a drone hit, but that super scooper allows you to get a whole lot of water up at the same time. It's easier to fight a fire during the day than it is at night.
The hope is that they could get that other super scooper, and those are so valuable in fighting these fires that it's such a disappointment to know that they have to ground one of them when it could be so useful in fighting the fire. But that drone, that crew inside that super scooper didn't even know that they were hit by a drone.
Wow, really?
Yes, they had landed and they noticed the hole in the wing.
Wow.
So guys, one of the most valuable machines they're using to help put the fires out, and people are flying up drones just to get a couple of views online. It's crazy. You know, I'm all for technology and seeing what's going on, but you know, there's a safety involved here. There's people trying to do a job.
They noticed a hole in the wing, and then upon investigation, they determined it was a drone, and I believe through all of their forensics actually found the drone.
On the ground or in
I think on the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
And so while they fix it and make sure it's safe, it's going to be grounded for a couple of days. And you think about, like, you know, how infuriating it is that you're hampering just to get some footage, you're hampering the efforts of firefighters and putting their lives in danger.
Right.
Is is just incomprehensible. I mean, when someone had asked me this the other day, and I thought it was a very good question, because people are posting drone footage of the fire zones and the firefight on social media, and the FBI is on this to make sure that there are no drones. Could you face charges? The tracking back is very easy when you're posting it on social media.
That's crazy, man. You know, people flying up drones while the emergency services are trying to put out an insane fire, one of the worst we've seen yet. It's just so irresponsible. The next clips we're going to show you guys, you know, I don't know if they're true or not. I've seen them. I want to share them to ramp up the debate. They're caught on video, lighting fires in LA. Have a watch.
How are they throwing gasoline?
Police took a man into custody after he was seen lighting brush on fire in downtown Los Angeles. Video shows the man lighting multiple fires. This happened along Alameda Street near Union Station. It appears a Metro worker helped put the fires out with a fire extinguisher and
to be the water to put out the Palisades fire. This is the Santa Ynez Reservoir. It's the water supply basically for the Palisades. When they first started fighting the Palisades fire, they ran out of water extremely quickly. Wednesday, 3 a.m., they were basically out. And there's been a lot of talk on why this happened. So how long has this reservoir been empty for? Since February of last year. There was no communication from the Department of Water and Power to LAFD that there was a water supply issue. The firefighters, when they started fighting the fires, no one informed them that the reservoir was empty. This reservoir holds 117 million gallons of water. The fire department was using a water supply from 3 backup tanks, each one only holding 1 million gallons of water. They say it's closed for maintenance to repair the lid that's on top of it. I don't know a lot about reservoir maintenance, but there's literally no construction materials or vehicles anywhere in sight. Also, with a reservoir like this, you can refill it or start to refill it. So another question is, if they saw the Santa Ana winds were coming and we have this remarkably dry wet season, why was there no attempt to start refilling it back up? I know I threw a lot
Guys,
out
if
there,
you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. But just there, mate, you know, I'm not from these areas. You know, if anyone lives close by and knows what's the situation with that, that's pretty strange that the water's been drained 6 months. You'd think it was quite important to get that filled up for reserves. Have a look at this, mate.
What in the world? The firemen don't have hoses, so they're like literally using purses? Women's handbags? Filling up women's handbags to put out fires. Look at this. What in the world? LAFD fire department using women's handbags to put out fires. What is going on here? Have you guys ever seen this in your life? Look.
What's going on there, mate? Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a firefighter putting out a fire with a handbag? You know, Hope's got his pepper spray. I'm going to put out the credits to this guy so you can go on the channel and watch the full video. But basically, I cut out a couple of clips in this YouTube video the other day. She's a remote viewer, the assassination attempt with Donald Trump, and also the UFO fake/real alien invasion. Have a watch, guys, see what you think. But wait till we get to the end. And is this all connected, mate? You know what I mean? And what's going on? Let's have a look.
So before we begin, I do want to mention that I am a remote viewer. This is what I do. I essentially remote view a future timeline for planet Earth to see what is going on and what I can see. That being said, timelines can and do shift all the time. That's why a psychic can never truly predict the future. We are just picking up on the most probable timeline, okay? The third prediction that I picked up on is interesting, both real and fake UFO invasions, okay? And invasion is such an extreme word, but with the fake invasion, right, fake alien invasion, it's very clear that we're seeing in 2024, we're building up to something specifically like that, but at the same time, we are actually getting real extraterrestrial presence and orbs and things that are happening even right now with these UFO drones. And we're gonna, like, it's almost like what we're seeing right now is really what I saw for 2025. It looks like it's gonna be a really big event in particular. And with that event, there is gonna be a huge emphasis on regulation, and there's even a potential, specifically America, to call a state of emergency. That's how extreme it looked like it was going to be. So please keep that in mind. And it actually looked like very similar type of response that we saw with COVID in 2020. And this is potentially what they're looking for. This is potentially, it's just another fear-mongering tactic. The confusing part about this is we are having real extraterrestrials coming to visit us for real cosmic disclosure, which is a huge part of our ascension as well. So this is where discernment is really needed. We have both real and fake alien stuff happening, but it does seem like there's going to be a very big event happening in 2025, and it seems like that's sort of just right around the corner. I didn't really pick up on a timeline, but it didn't seem too far into 2025 where we're going to experience that. Just in general, people questioning and waking up to corruptions, like really people questioning the narrative and then breaking through the matrix and being like, whoa, this entire time this was happening and I didn't even know it, which is important, right? And along that vein, I think we all needed to question the narrative and wake up to get to where we are right now. But it's going to be a lot of agendas and conspiracies and governments, because think about the first time you learned that there was this shadow government and there was reptilians and there was all this stuff going on behind the scenes. We are about to get hopefully hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people waking up to this truth. And there's a reason why they're doing that, right? The vibration is increasing, but there's going to be a couple of other elements that came up in the predictions as well. All right, prediction number 6 is there's going to be a shift in global power. So I saw a lot of global tensions happening. And so I saw massive things like new global agreements. You know how there's like, I don't even know what the globe, it's like really sad because I took political science in university, but you know, like the NAFTA agreement and the EU, like we're talking major global political shifts that are going to happen in 2025, or at least the beginning of major global political shifts. And there's going to be a ton of tension with America in general at a global political level. And then I also saw some really interesting stuff with China and America and the USA, and something about, you know, China threatening the US or the US threatening China. There's going to be a lot of tensions between those two countries as well. I didn't really see it resulting in anything in particular, but that just really came up strongly because it was a cyber attack exposing different, what did I say here? Elite agendas. Yeah. Big cyber attack exposing elite agendas. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Anonymous or the QAnon movement. Anyways, something interesting. I also, in that sort of vein, it's different but similar, that there's going to be a lot of declassified information that's shocking the world. So it seems like there are groups or organizations on planet Earth that are going to be really pushing for certain information to be declassified. And within that, that's going to cause at least some of the protesting and the riots, because people are going to gain access to this information and be like, whoa, this is not okay. What's really fascinating about that is it seemed like it was going to take a couple of years for all of the information that's going to be declassified in 2025 to really like sink into the mainstream narrative. Like it seems like not everyone is going to gain access to the information right away. It's kind of like having some sort of crazy murder case happen and then getting the Netflix documentary like 2 years later. Like it's like that sort of vibe is what I picked up on. But once again, cyber attack, exposing elite agendas, declassified information. It seems like it's going to be a year focused on truth.
Mate, that's crazy, you know. How many people are we hearing now talking about 2025 and from the year 2025 to 2030? So much information getting disclosed. You know, what's coming, mate? You know, I'm...
Never, ever seen anything like that.
That's mental.
Living here for 6 years.
Wow.
There's so much
smoke.
So
beautiful, yet so devastating.
It is blocking the sun. You can actually see it.
Mate, you know, this channel, we come to this channel for UFO footage. There's a couple of clips coming up. I just can't get my head around, mate. You know, help me out. See you in the comments if you can tell me what these lights are. There's a couple of different clips. Hold on.
Is this purple thing right here? You tell me. What the is going on? It's spinning.
Just is that.
And then watch when I pan over here in a second. And this is all live screen footage from Los Angeles.
Oh, what is...
And then what is that, bro? What is that?
Don't know what this was. It goes from the right to the left and then it sat there for a second. Well, no, it sat there for, after it got there, it just sat there. Rewind it. It just goes across the stream. And then it just sits there. And you hear the reporter says something about a fireball. She goes, is that a fireball? That was a fireball or something. It wasn't a fireball. They're way far away from the fire. And if it was something from the fire, it wouldn't have stopped. And whatever that is stopped. And sat there.
Wow. Does that just stop? Oh, wow.
I have no clue.
Oh, wow. I didn't really realize it actually stops. What?
And I stopped it right after I saw that, so I didn't get the reporter.
Wait, what are we looking
at? Right after that, she goes, oh my God, there's a fireball. It's way too far away from the fire to be coming from there. And then if it was an ember or whatever, they don't stop.
What is that?
Go through the other side.
Goes up high.
Mate, what was that?
Okay, this is live satellite feed. We've got synchronized
what was
flashing
that?
of the
Help
street
me out,
lights
'cause I
around
haven't
the
got
whole
a clue.
area here. This is our chopper going back out to the wildfires in LA. I'm getting the raw broadcast from an old satellite dish. Look at this. I'm live on it right now. So we do have, I think one other camera that's not very good, but this is the chopper going back out there again at 1:20 a.m. Pacific time, now January 9th. I don't know if they're signaling that's all an evacuation area. Anyway, you saw it here first. Live 1.5 seconds.
Mate, what is going on? The last couple of months have been mental. It's just too much to take in.
coming in. The Palisades is our neighbor, Topanga, Mandeville Canyon. We really want to welcome everybody into our city, and also for our residents here who are being evacuated, we want to make sure that they see us there with those that are receiving them at these shelters. So I plan to be wherever I need to be, welcoming people and continuing to push out information. We're asking people to follow our social medias, City of Santa Monica Instagram handle. All of us have our own Instagram handles as well. We'll be sharing that information. But santamonica.gov is the best place to go right now to click on all the links and get air quality reports, evacuation updates, and more information on the fire.
Again, also helpful, and before I let you go, a final moment here, Mayor Negretti, these evacuation orders, again, feel so surreal. I'm sure to you, as you mentioned, this is something that you saw from afar, and here it is coming to you, at least in the form of an evacuation order. For the folks at home who might be impacted by these evacuation orders, some of the best practices we've heard from, for instance, Supervisor Horvath, are to leave a note on the door, to leave the door unlocked. That makes people feel uneasy about leaving their home in that way. In
Some of these clips, again, scary, but from this point on, we're going down the rabbit hole. Conspiracies. Tell me what you think's true, mate. Is there any connections with all this?
Look behind me. Both of these scenes are happening at the same exact time. This is Texas, this is Los Angeles. The whole earth is going crazy right now, and I'm about to prove it. By the way, regardless what you say, none of this is normal. God said he put the heavenly bodies in the sky to tell us about times, dates, and seasons. 3 blood moons are coming this year. And in just the first week of this year alone, we've had the Cybertruck, we've had the New Orleans, we've had mass casualty events, and the history-breaking LA fire. Yes, it's the biggest one in history. But see, speaking of these times, dates, and seasons, right now we have a once in 100 lifetimes to see this Atlas meteor going through the sky. For the next few days, while all this stuff goes on right now. The same way we saw the Devil's Comet the same time as the eclipse and the Devil's Comet over Portugal when all that crazy stuff in Spain was happening. It's almost like all the things in the sky are for times, dates, and seasons. By the way, this dude is walking down the street and this fire randomly started right in front of him.
Fire just started here randomly? Dude,
The glasses, everything connects. Look at this article. Everything in this world connects. I mean, look at this right here. Earth is quite literally going crazy. Hypernegatives happening just hundreds of miles away from each other.
Did you see that then in that clip? I know it wasn't the longest clip, guys, but did you see that? A fireball, like something coming out the sky, hitting down into the ground. Could that have started some of the fires? I don't know, mate. It's like 1 minute it's wildfires, next minute it's homeless people starting the fires, and now there's little meteor showers hitting the floor and sparking up a flame.
All right, I told you guys, this is Maui 2.0 right here. Cars completely melted into the ground, yet the leaves of the trees right above these cars, right above the car, still intact, still fine. The bushes, fine, right here. The car is melted into the ground, just like Maui. We've been telling you guys that something is fishy here. We know what's going on. If you don't see this, then you are an NPC. This is the Maui aftermath. You're going to see the same aftermath in LA. You're going to see the cars that are absolutely melted into the ground. This does not happen. Here's the aftermath from LA. These completely pulverized structures, yet this blue bin, untouched, not melted whatsoever. Melting steel cars into the ground, yet not a recycle bin. Makes sense. You know, I've seen a lot of cars completely burnt on the side of the road, exploded, and the aftermath of these cars a lot of times in my life, and I've never seen something ever melted into the ground. This is in Maui. Look, blue car, not burnt. Only car on the road, not burnt. Blue umbrellas, not burnt. At this point, it can't get any more obvious. You have to be completely programmed and brainwashed and not see what is going on here. Completely obvious what's happening.
See, in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because they have the right roof on.
They literally tell you right to your face what they're doing. If you don't know what's going on, you need to look into some of this stuff because this is what's going on. It's time to expose.
It's hard to take in stuff like that, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's real or not, but if there's something to that, mate, there's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
I think the craziest and the saddest part about the fires in Los Angeles is the timing of everything. A lot of people are saying they lost their insurance not too long before the fires. Just take a look at what James Woods says. He says in his neighborhood, about 4 months before the fire, one major insurance company canceled all the policies in his neighborhood. Just take a look at this picture of Pacific Palisades. Average cost of a home there is $3.4 million. Now, how about the timing of the cut of the fire department's budget? They cut more than $17.5 million about 7 months before these fires started from the fire department. And they were saying that they were severely understaffed and they didn't have enough resources to fight these fires. And then the $1 million question comes around. How the heck did these fires even start? And there are hundreds of conspiracies circulating around social media, but I have a question, and a lot of people have this question too, because I saw a lot of videos saying the same thing. It got so hot that the people who abandoned their cars, it started melting. Like the metal started melting down the street, but the trees around these cars looked
Let's
fine.
talk about that, mate. How does that actually happen? You know, you've got trees and bushes that haven't been affected, but then you've got metal cars, metal and rubber melt into the streets. I just, how does that happen?
This is, where are we even? Like, what the? Oh, that's on purpose. That's doing on purpose.
As you guys saw from that video, it looks like a fire was intentionally set in Koreatown in California. Look at all the fires now. This is insane. This is like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. First, I want to say thoughts and prayers go to all these people, anyone who is in that area and who is being affected. I hope they make it out with their pets and everything safely. But the magnitude of this is just extremely crazy now. I know embers can travel so far, right? I don't want to start conspiracies, but this is kind of...
This is crazy, mate, you know. Are embers spreading through the winds and landing places and just starting up a flame because it's, you know, had such a drought without rain? Or is this more to it, mate, you know?
Outraged at this news reporter after it was secretly shown that he was hiding clothespins to make his clothes fit tighter and look better on him while reporting on people's homes and property burning to the ground. You get a better look at it here with 1 clothespin and 2 clothespins, all to make him look as attractive as possible. I mean, that reporter literally pulled a Homer Simpson on live TV and thought he was getting away with it. Honestly, I think focusing on making yourself look good instead of helping people when they're in desperate need is absolutely
There's always
sick.
one, mate. There's
And he
always one.
sees a part of a liquefied, now solidified, melted.
This is what I mean, mate. These cars melt into the street. It's that hot. Like, how is that happening? But yet the trees are still standing, mate. They should be burnt to nothing, you would have thought. They dry as a bone.
Now, in this book, Where Did the Towers Go? There was a parking lot, and it was, they called the toasted car park, because almost every single car in this parking lot got toasted. And it was near the towers, makes you wonder. But the strange thing is that you'd have images like this where the outside of the car is toasted, the paint is melted off, but inside plastic and vinyl still is intact. Same thing with this, toasted exterior, but unburnt upholstery, unburnt seatbelt, plastic molding. And it's all about the strangeness of what happened to some of these cars on 9/11.
So today we're going to hit on the fires in California, and the sky's looking like this, and some weird things about it. So first we start with the unusual dryness. Well, that's because this cloud seeding program, which was augmenting rainfall, stopped. So California got really dry really quick. And before anybody says they wouldn't do it, here's 687 patents on augmenting the weather. Then there was another reporter who talked about how the firefighters have no water at all. Isn't that kind of odd? The other weird one was, look at this fire. It's on one side, and it's on the other, but it's not on anything in between. The other odd part is all these cars blocking the roads. Everybody just got out, started running, which makes no sense, and blocked the roads. And then there's all these videos of the fire jumping from house to house, but not burning anything in between. Check this out. Lawsuits claim faulty PG&E smart meters started their house fire. Could this be the culprit? Then I was doing some more research on smart meter fires. Look at this. Just pops up. Tons of them. Interesting. So then I decided to look up what's in the smart meter, and check this. Lithium batteries, just like those Teslas which were left out on the street. And when they catch fire, the firefighters can't put them out. Isn't this kind of interesting? Then I decided to go way back to the San Francisco fires. Remember when the tops of the buildings only burned but everything else remained? Check this. San Francisco gaslight merges with PG&E. It's been going on for a long time.
Time for a nightly news rundown. Let's get into a couple things. Out the gate, we should talk about California, obviously. So one thing I wanted to talk about that I've been thinking on, all these videos of the arsonists, right? Now all of a sudden it's becoming clear that some of these fires have been set intentionally. You know what's interesting about that is that makes it easier for insurance companies to deny claims yet again. Because it's no longer an act of God, it's arson, right? Which is a very different thing. Furthermore, are you aware that Las Vegas is going to become the next Hollywood? Yeah. A couple days ago, Warner Bros. Committed $8.5 billion to upgrade their Las Vegas production studios. Now, what do we think of the timing on that one? What do we think of the timing on that one? I'm going to be digging into that side of the story more. And also, we got UFOs in Ontario.
I see it to believe it, and I've seen it, and I believe it. So the City of Angels actually did have a plan similar to the island. So what came after the incident on the island was this, okay, people? And they seem to have done a pretty good job. Like I said before, the City of Angels had a plan too for 2028. A whole vision, in fact. A whole new vision. And what comes with that vision is infrastructure. Lots and lots of infrastructure. I mean, there's a timeline. But like I said, remember about the island and now the City of Angels. Let me just tell you, it is hard to build a whole new infrastructure when you have a well-established City of Angels. But when something happens like what happened on the island, these plans can become much more achievable.
This tree. Eucalyptus trees and eucalyptus groves are everywhere in California. Planted by the millions by early settlers, eucalyptus trees remain a defining feature of California's landscape, despite a well-known and sadly well-documented history, including the devastating Oakland Hills fire, of being highly flammable.
Can't even use the wood for lumber. They use them for paper. Huge elm brought over by colonizers during the gold rush.
Planted forests of eucalyptus in the countryside of São Paulo state. They belong to Suzano Pulp and Paper, Brazil's biggest producer of cellulose, the raw material used to make paper product.
You guys always wonder why I say eucalyptus. Look at this. They are so scary. They fall from wind easily.
Dozen largest trees that fell yesterday. One was a pine tree. The rest, take a look behind me. They all looked similar to this one. That's a eucalyptus tree.
And his redwoods are fine, of course.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
There's gonna be these explosions that lead to fire that burns evidence. There's gonna be two new. Whether they're fake.
Can help you.
Okay.
You just take it down. It's not even half a mile.
Okay.
This is an Amazon delivery guy delivering packages in LA as the entire city burns down. Yeah, you see this blue box with the yellow stripes? The same box is pictured here. They are Amazon boxes. This is absolute insanity. But no worries, Amazon is on it. How a US Marine works to keep Amazon employees safe during weather and natural disasters. They got data on data to analyze how wildfire smoke would impact geographic regions unlike ever before, and they'll overnight hundreds of thousands of N95 masks and additional air scrubbers to the sites beforehand. Is this guy wearing one? It's hard to tell. I don't think he is. It looks like some kind of bandana. Anyway, they'll also provide the intelligence these guys need. Intelligence, quote unquote, evacuation routes and all. So they can make sure those important packages are delivered. Because guess what? Jeff Bezos, he doesn't want an entrenched workforce. That would be a, quote, march to mediocrity. And current Amazon CEO Andy Jassy tweeted this morning that he is incredibly sad to see the devastating impact of the Los Angeles wildfires, and he's thinking of everyone in Los Angeles right now. Except probably not about this guy. Because Mr. Jassy is too busy cozying up to his new friends in...
If that is real and people were delivering or picking up Amazon parcels, wow. That's got to be the lowest of the low.
Hey, Hollywood. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you, Hollywood, have believed what you have believed. And now look at you.
All that money, power, and influence, and yet still you cannot survive. The difference between who and where these Hollywood people are at now is the difference between looking in the mirror and knowing one's self truthfully or not.
There's some people, mate, that have been waiting for this day a long time. You know, they can't wait for everything to come out with Hollywood.
Okay, you guys don't even know what kind of video I just watched. I'm in LA right now, so there's a fire once again on the Hollywood Hills where the Runyon is, where all the expensive houses are, okay? Now this car is driving through, ambers are flying, okay? Fire everywhere, okay? They're driving, they see 4 Armenian dudes. Now these dudes are walking like they're the Avengers, okay? Very confident, Louis book bags over across the chest. The person in the car is like, guys, come inside, come into the car. They go, they look back, they just keep walking. The person rides up a little closer, they go, guys, come on, come inside the car. They go, brother, relax, and just keep walking. The person's like, guys, I mean, it's not a big deal, just come into the car. You guys are gonna get hurt. They go, Achbe, relax. Like that, with a little, once you get hit, listen, if these guys hit that dude with a third relax, I mean, the person in the car would have probably woke up on vacation. You know what I'm trying to say? I just really want to know what those guys are up to, and I think I might.
Pretty strange. Right, we're on next to Casper site, just going over some of the LA lights. Some strange lights and orbs in the sky over these LA fires. You know, let's have a look.
Look at these. They're not lanterns, right? Like we've got the wind blowing this way. Okay, fair enough. It's quite still. But look. Look at that. So hang on, that seemed like the first bit. So that's the first bit because the smoke's just gone up. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here. Are they moving? 1, 2, 3. Let's just... Okay, so they're moving. The smoke is moving this way. And then the orbs seem to be moving this way because those 3 seem like they've gone from 1, 2, 3, and it's shrunk closer together. Am I right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, triangles, ladies and gentlemen, that I keep on going on about. And then we push over to here. And so we've got maybe this one being pushed across. These clumping together, and this one being pushed across. So a later date, we've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, okay, so we still got this one. So one appears. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then later on. So I'm assuming because of the smoke, it's gone up and across, right? But this could have been a completely later date or time. But that's weird, man. It is weird. And why have they gone from the obvious, you know, from white to blue? They've gone from white to blue. And look, hang on a second. Now, is this got anything to do with the temperature of the camera settings? Because even the water now, we go from white orbs, white reflections, and I know these are coming from the lights here. But then if we go from here, we've now got blue reflections. Right? Is that reflection coming from there? Hang on. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. This clump here. This is odd. So really, these are a hell of a lot brighter. To be doing that reflection, these are a hell of a lot brighter than we can actually see through this camera lens. And I've noticed that myself, you know. I sometimes look up in the sky and see something really bright, and then I I go in my camera and it just looks a little bit shit, just like a dot, like a brightish white dot. So I'm just wondering why, like, because of the reflection here, these could be really illuminating quite a lot of light. Before I show you the viral one, the big grand finale, the clip that is going to blow your mind, I think it's really important to show you these two first, particularly this one, because it has a lot of it explains a few things before seeing these clips that I've been showing you in the last video and today. All right, I got an email today. I don't want to show his name because he's not said that I can. Okay. He says, "Hi, I've been watching your videos on UAP. I just saw the one you posted regarding UAPs over LA fires. I filmed Orbs over the Palisades fire on Tuesday night, which, by the way, is the same area the news footage you showed was from." That he's referring to the video I did the other day. "I've just started a YouTube page to upload some of my videos on the topic. I'm a pilot, and I've had a number of encounters with UAPs and orbs, both in the sky and on the ground. I'll enclose a link to my video taken on Tuesday night below. Feel free to use it if you want. Ari, your video. I can tell you, all aircraft, including firefighting helicopters and fixed wing, were all grounded Tuesday night due to 60-70 mile per hour winds. There's no way a drone or a kite could have survived in these winds. My orbs were holding a..." When he says my orbs, he's referring to the videos that I'm going to show you in a second. "My orbs were holding a stationary track regardless of the winds." Now he also mentions now something that I was asking on my last video about why these particular orbs were dripping. What were they dripping? Okay, and he's saying now, he's obviously speculating a little bit here. It says, "If it's true that orbs are dripping molten metals, it's possible that they could be responsible for the fires. The area I filmed was near the Hollywood sign. About an hour later, that area became completely engulfed in flames." His channel was Skyward Files, by the way. This is the orbs he's talking about, clearly. Now this is where he says the Palisades. If I've pronounced that properly, I'm so sorry if I haven't. So we've got what I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I'm not too sure what this one is. I don't know whether this, because we've got the horizon here, right? So you can see they are. You've got another one blinking down here as well. So this video goes on for 4 minutes 38 seconds. But when you scan through, oh look, these are glowing. And bear in mind, this is why I've told you that he said all planes were landed. They weren't allowed to be flying. Nothing was flying in those 60-70 mile per hour winds. Which also, again, what the hell? What? I don't understand why there's no sound to this. Oh, there is! Just turn my volume up. But like I say, the reason why I wanted to show the email, because, you know, and regarding the 60-70 mile an hour winds, it explains a lot about my last video that I showed you, about these UAPs on the beach, just doing odd maneuvers and everything like that, going against the wind, to the wind, up, down, straight lines. But these are seeming to be, you know, moving horizontally in a perfect, like, back and forth. It's absolutely horrible what's going on over there. Absolutely horrible. This is crazy. And remember what he said, that moments later, that area, that particular area, was up in flames. Now, look, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's, inevitable when you've got winds like that, and you've got, hot ambers blowing over. You can see which way the wind's blowing. It's inevitable that this is going to be up in flames at some point. I'm not trying to defend UAPs, But when he was saying about the dripping, dripping metals or some sort, I'm not too sure. Look at this, it's incredible. And to see this with the naked eye as well would have been even more so. It must have been so bright. So what did we have at the beginning? Like 4 or 5 orbs? Look at this center one now. It's just getting bigger. The blues, yellows, greens. Why is it that these UAPs are spotted around these natural phenomena and disasters and things like that? Is it because we're recording more? Or is it because they're around there more? And there is an idea that these certain events, they can attract UAP, okay? Listen to this. Solar eclipses, fires, or earthquakes release unusual amounts of energy. Gravitational shifts during eclipses, heat, and electromagnetic disturbances from disasters. If UAPs are technically advanced, they might be drawn to study or utilize these energy anomalies. It's one to think about. I might look into that a little bit further. So there's not really one person to shout out on this one who sent me it. I've been sent it many times on X and over on emails. I do appreciate it. This again was live on Fox. Fox seems to manage to, capture these UAPs. So this is the moment when we see this UAP. And believe me, guys, this isn't a white blur speeding past. This is one of the most, in my opinion, legit UAP captures of all time.
Just recently starting to, come on the brink of being expired. We are going to see those winds picking up. And
did you see that? I'm not talking about this one down here. Pretty sure that's a helicopter, okay? This one that flies from here across.
That small little break, and that break just recently starting to, come on the brink of being expired. We are going to see those winds picking up, and, it won't just be to see those winds. We are going to see those winds picking up. We are going to see those winds picking up, and
like, what are we seeing here? Let's slow this down. Let's go 0.25.
We are going to see those winds.
That does look like a UAP, in my opinion. It doesn't look like a plane.
The picking.
That doesn't look like a plane to me. It reminds me of the similar shape of what was it? April, I think 8th on the solar eclipse.
We are
now I gotta admit, right here,
going
Where is it?
Of being expired. We are
right here. You can see like maybe a tail, but you know, if that's the angle of where you can see the tail, you should be able to see the wing or the wings, but you don't, right? You don't see it. And look at this. I'm sorry, but that doesn't look like a plane. The sheer size of it as well. The size of it, no trail. I mean, come on. What? What do you think?
the picking up.
Am I right?
We are going to see those winds picking up, and you know it won't that small little break and that.
I mean,
break,
look at this thing here. This has got to be maybe a helicopter.
Just recently starting to come on the brink of being expired.
Look at the size of that, right? Now, I'm sorry, helicopters are, they ain't small. Depending obviously what helicopter, but
going to see.
What? So we've got this here. And now look at the size difference. Look at the size difference of this thing.
Those winds picking up, and
guys, if you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Let's go.